Okay. Hello, one and all. My name is John Clare. This is
Roman Crash.
and this is the Post-Watch Post-Mortem.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us today as we sit here and talk about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
And Roman, what did we think of this film?
I didn't like it at all. I think it could have been like a half an hour movie, doing like a short feature movie, doing like is it like just an hour long or is it?
It's about an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah, an hour and a half. It shouldn't be like just half an hour, 40 minutes. You know, like
Hour and 23 minutes it is.
yeah, it could be 40 minutes. That's it. You know, and it's from what I heard is the one that started the slasher genre,
More or less,
Halloween
yeah.
or all
Well,
those horror.
I mean, a lot of those characters, a lot of the likes of like Jason from the Halloween series would have been very much inspired by Leatherface and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like the one thing also, because I don't like this film. I think it's fucking atrocious. I think it's really fucking bad. Don't like it at all. But you can see that this film has had over the years a huge amount of cultural relevance, like both in the horror genre. Well, mostly in the horror genre, but also like in terms of mainstream appeal or whatever else.
Or independent movie.
Yeah, and independent movies as well.
Mm.
But I don't, to be honest with you, however much cultural relevance it may have had. I mean, like if we look at the scores, IMDb, the average score is 7.4 out of 10. If you look at Rotten Tomatoes, it's 89% in the critics and 82% in the audience score, which is obviously very high. I wouldn't give it any. I mean, in terms of scores, I wouldn't go anywhere near it. I think this film is absolute fucking dog shit.
And I
hate it.
And you know what? It's the I think this movie is kind of plagued it's the like just killing for the sake of killing, and it's like there's no scenario. For example, if Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the movie that we saw, was written as a book, it would be an awful book. There's a book without
20
story.
pages. It wouldn't be
Not
even
not even a novella, because The Thing was a novella. The Thing was a novella, but it was a good horror story at the base.
That's actually good because like we the previous film we watched was The Thing, right?
Yeah, by John Carpenter.
John Carpenter, the original, not the original, but
it
the
was
1980.
poorly received at the beginning because it was just like people was judging it because it was just the horror for the sake of horror, like disgusting imagery, stuff like that, which is the signature of Carpenter, to be fair.
Yeah,
The Fly, or is it John Carpenter? The Fly?
No, it's David Cronenberg.
Yeah, and and basically the direct to home cinema kind of saved the movie and gave him a cult following.
Yeah, but also I mean, in terms of The Thing, like what rescued that movie and stopped it, like prevented me from utterly hating it.
Is the relationship with the characters.
Yeah, the relationship with the characters, the tension that was built up, the interpersonal relationships and the interpersonal conflicts that were going on throughout the entirety of the film.
Yeah,
like there are things there that you could kind of, you could latch onto, that you could somehow kind of identify with. The problem I have with this film is that there's these 5 kids, but basically the brief synopsis is, at the start of the film, there's these 5 kids and they're on a road trip of some description, right?
They go to see. There was like somebody did a sculpture of dead remain in the cemetery, and they go to the cemetery to see if their died or grandparent like
were dug up, and after that they went on an adventure. Anyway, to be honest, I think that ends up becoming ancillary to the rest of the story, to be honest. But
just try to find a reason to
kind of get the action going.
Yeah.
But anyway, they go on this road trip. And the next thing they decide, for some stupid reason, to go to a haunted house. But the problem is, like, along the way, they pick up this hitchhiker who's a bit of a fucking weirdo, and he just behaves very fucking weird and childish in the back of the car. Cuts the disabled lad, the lad in the wheelchair. And spooks the rest of them. Lights a photograph on fire in the back of the van, and they end up kicking him out.
Even the intro, like when the guy in the wheelchair is peeing and he falls because a truck is going to a truck is just rolling next to the car, which make everybody jump off, like for some fucking reason. Like this scene is useless.
Yeah.
The scene is useless because you don't learn more about the characters. You just learn that one is in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And so you see him falling down the hill for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Just because for the sake of it.
And he turns out, I mean, and the thing is, this, I mean, he turns out to be an annoying dickhead. But
He's
then
an annoying
again,
dickhead that's just like unlikable, and nobody is likable.
yeah, they're all annoying dickheads. There's 5 of them in the party. There's 3 guys, one of them in a wheelchair, 2 like young,
They could have
hip
all
young
been,
dudes.
So they could have all been like in a wheelchair or not in a wheelchair. It would have made a difference.
Yeah, well, the point I'm making is this, right? All 5 of the characters, the 2 girls and the 3 guys, it doesn't matter which one of them you pick, they're all fucking doofuses. Like,
They're basically the same person.
more or less, it's not even that they're the same person.
No, the two men are the same person, and the 2 girls are the same person.
Well, maybe not. I don't know. All I know is that none of them, not fucking one of them, did I give a flying fuck through a rolling donut about.
Because they have no character development. There's no character.
Well, it's not even that there's no characters. The characters are fucking unlikable.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't like any of them. I just thought they were all fucking idiots. And like the thing is with movies like this, right? And I know it's subjective from person to person, but for me, like if you're going to put these people in peril, right? I need to care about the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, in order for me to care about the outcome, I need to care about the individuals involved. Like there has to be some kind of redeeming feature. They have to be funny. They have to be, don't necessarily have to be likable, but there has to be some sort of like empathetic connection between the audience and the cast. I don't think that's there. I just think they're fucking cardboard cutout doofus young people who like winning. You know, it's like for instance. So anyway, they kick this weirdo out. He comes back later on in the film. Turns out he's the brother of Leatherface. Mm-hmm. Then they stop off at a gas station, and the gas station attendant, he's like, "Do you want?" He keeps going on about the barbecue. We later on find out that's all human flesh because they're cannibals. And then, do you know, like they go to this abandoned house and they fucking like and after that it's just like they go to the abandoned house, which I think was some sort of way to try and build up tension. I didn't feel tense by it. I just thought, what are these fucking idiots doing walking around an abandoned house for, you know? And then like they decide, oh, we're going to find a pool, so 2 of them disappear off. He goes, oh, I'll be back in an hour. And the next thing is like they find the pool, which is there's no pool there. Then they go to the next door neighbour's house. Or no, one of them goes to the next door neighbour's house looking for gasoline for the truck.
Because the trucks have no gas.
Because the truck has no gas, and there's engines like whirring and outside this remote house in the middle of Texas. So the first couple go in, they start knocking on the door. Your man goes in, gets a hammer put to his head. The girlfriend's outside waiting, gets impatient, looks inside. Next thing, Leatherface picks her up and slings her on a meat hook. Then we wait. Then the next dude goes in looking for his friends, goes to the same house, makes the same mistake, gets a hammer put on his head. Then you're left with the blonde girl and the guy in a wheelchair, who I think are brother and sister.
Yeah.
But given the way they talk to each other, it's like there's no relationship, or clearly no relationship between them at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then
no character development.
not at all.
Yeah.
So they go looking for him in the middle of the night with nothing but a torch, and Leatherface just leaps out of the bush and hacks your man up on the in the wheelchair. Then they chase the girl for what seems like fucking forever while she's screaming and hollering at the top of her lungs. And then they capture, and then she escapes, and then there's a mad fucking bit at the end where she somehow gets away in the back of a pickup truck, laughing hysterically with blood running down her face. Mm-hmm. That's the beginning and end of the movie. I'm able to put that together in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Right? You could write it in a fucking paragraph.
The details are not important.
The details are not important. The characters are not important. It's basically... The thing is, right, this film came out in 1974. Right? And my impression is that this film was made purely...
For shock value?
For shock value.
Yeah.
Like, to make it as grotesque as possible. To, you know... To shock as many people as possible, to shock the squares and the boomers and whatever else.
If you read the script of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on a piece of paper, it's a dumb movie and it's boring. So what's the point? So like I finished reading the page that explained the scenario of the movie. Not even the page, it's like half a page.
Yeah.
And so, what did I read? Like, what's the point? What's the meaning of it? What is like? What is it? What do we learn?
We don't fuck all.
We don't fuck all. Like, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like this film is like really stupid. It is very, very fucking dumb. And I don't mean dumb. Like, you can watch movies that are kind of stupid and still really enjoy yourself.
Like, there's stupid movie. Like, there's like, but like, it tried to say something, or like, it has a story. You know, like.
Yeah, there's something that can redeem it. Like with The Thing. Like I said, The Thing. I
saw animal documentaries are more interesting than that. There's more story in that.
Well, yeah, and there's more convincing gore.
Yeah.
You know, because there's really a lion fucking eating that zebra.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, there's no. I don't know. I think the film looks really badly put together.
Mm-hmm.
It basically looks like, I don't know, some kid fucking put it together as part of a film project.
Yeah,
Like
it did remind me of Oshin project.
The project we did with Oshin.
Yeah, it does remind me a lot of that.
Yeah, but that what we did there, I mean, without blowing our own trumpet, but because Oshin directed it, but we helped put it together.
There's no scenario. Basically, in the story, he has no scenario.
No, I mean, it's a very,
if somebody comes in the house and get killed, which is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, but the thing is, we did it in for less than 10 minutes. That was an hour and 23 of my life being fucking wasted. Do you know what I mean? And also, like, with, I don't like this film. I don't like it. I mean, like, while you can talk about the cultural relevance, and I think there's a discussion to be had there, like, in terms of how it influenced other horror movies, the cultural relevance of Leatherface as a character, because, he showed up in, like, one of the Mortal Kombat games as a playable character. There are things that you can
I don't think it's a good thing.
Well, look, some people love this film, dude.
Yeah,
they love it. I can't see for the life of me why they do, but that's art is subjective at the end of the day, But fuck me, I think this film's it's fucking atrocious. It's really bad.
But like those who like that movie are pretty much like having neon light on their cars and
that's a bit disparaging.
Messed up their exhaust pipe to make more noise. Like,
that's a little bit disparaging.
I'm right.
I'm sure there's some people out there who are very intelligent people who love this movie.
I don't think so.
If you do, God bless your heart. I think it's fucking awful. I can't really like emphasize that enough. This film for me is absolute dog shit.
If you like that movie, just stop drinking lead in your water,
Look, don't blame the audience, mate. At the end of the day, for some people, this tickles their fancy, and at the end of the day, it takes all sorts to make a world. But
you suffer from lead poisoning if you like that movie. So like that's the thing in Texas as well. Like for a time, like there's a lot of crazy people because they're putting lead into water.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but the movie could have been something about that.
I think, to be honest with you, like, I mean, maybe in a way they wanted you to kind of come away with it with your own
like it's lazy, like. But you can come with your own
interpretation
of the thing, but you have to give us something. You have to give something, What's the goal of the family? What's to eat people? Yeah, to eat people. Yeah, okay. I don't know, it could have been a cult that, for example, like in Get Out, the family has a goal, is to swap the brain of dead people to not dead people, to dead dying people into the body of young athletic black men. So they have a goal. They're a crazy family, but they have a goal.
Yeah.
The goal could have been like to this family that to make their grandparents young again with the blood of younger people,
Oh yeah, the granddad dude. I mean, the prosthetics there were fucking awful.
They could have an old person doing that movie because nobody will do that. But for example, do you know there's a queen or something like that was bathing in the blood of.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. I think she was one of the queens of Kiev. I think her name.
Yeah, you can make something about that. Some people who want what do they want? They just don't want anything. They just want to eat human flesh because it's yummy. I'm not even thinking it's yummy. It's a lot of trouble to. It's a lot of trouble to get your meat when you can go to the store, pretty much.
Yeah, I know. You can get. I don't know. I just think. I don't know, mate. Look, at the end of the day, it's obviously coming from like who's the guy who directed it again? Let's just find out there. All right, Tobe Hooper. Writers were Toby Hooper and Kim Henkel. Right, whatever writing you guys did, you know, you must have done it in about half an hour. The actual film is, like I said, like your characters are fucking shallow and dumb. Your premise is fucking shallow and dumb. Your movie is shallow and dumb. You know, for me, like for instance, like honestly, since we started this fucking podcast, since we started the post-mortem, I would say this is the worst film we've fucking watched.
Yeah.
Right, I didn't exactly love Thor: Love and Thunder. I mean, is there any movie that since we started, that really
You
jumps at
hated the French Dispatch.
I didn't hate it, not to the same way. No, with French Dispatch, I just didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't get it.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a case I hated it. I mean, there were things I could definitely appreciate about it, like the cinematography and everything else. There were things that I could definitely appreciate. There are things that you could walk away from. Okay, that film may have not been for me, but there were still things that I quite enjoyed about it, or there's still things that I thought were quite clever or whatever else. Thor, there wasn't that much to redeem it, to be honest with you, but it's no way as bad as this. The only thing I found relatively interesting was the fact that you use soundscapes rather than music in terms to develop the atmosphere.
I think they kind of like a score when she's chasing away, kind of like very violent, like do like a thing going on. Yeah,
I think, mate. Well, that was quite interesting, but then I think what I'm doing there is I know what I'm doing. I'm clutching at straws. You know, I'm trying to find something redeeming about a film that I find irredeemable.
Yeah.
You know, there is like
there's better slasher movie or horror movie.
Yeah, there's better slasher movies, there's better horror movies, there's better movies in general. Like it just feels like this film was purely designed to shock and to scare. Because this film was banned in the UK for a good many years. Do you know what I mean? It was. I remember I remember when I was a kid, and like we'd all turn around. Oh, you seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre? No, I haven't. Oh, you should watch it. It's really scary.
I think the band did help for the.
It done great for its marketing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like there's no better thing for your marketing than to be banned or to be
especially to young people.
Yeah, because people want to see it more now.
Exactly. So what you do is you develop an appetite within the audience to watch the movie, because what you've turned around it's like it's the same reason why people do drugs or people fucking smoke. You know you shouldn't smoke. You know it's bad for you, but people wag the finger and say you shouldn't do that. And what do? You say, no, fuck you. I'm going to do it anyway.
Fuck you, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to be cool because you're not cool.
Exactly.
Why would I do what you do if I want to do differently? So I'm just going to do this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, but. So yeah, you got the cultural evidence, and you got the fact that it was banned for years, which I think leads, and it's obviously a cult film in a lot of ways, but is it a good one? And no, this is not a good film.
No,
I don't. I mean, I know we're doing like the Shocktober, we're doing things as part of for
Halloween
for Halloween, leading up to Halloween, and that's fine. I mean, and. The things with horror movies in general are looked down upon, right? I feel. I might be wrong in that. But when I watched The Get Out, it was like, fuck me, this film's really good.
Yeah.
Like, it's brilliant. It's so smart, and I love the way I love the characters, and I love, I love the characters, I love the writing. Although the premise was a bit goofy, it was there by design.
Yeah.
You could tell there was real thought. There was real kind of... Right, there was real deliberation involved.
It was goofy because he came from a writer, a comedian actor.
He's
a writer.
Peele. Yeah, because Jordan Peele was part of the was it Keenan Peele?
Keenan Peele, yeah.
Yeah, so like a comedy duo in America. They did SNL. I watched them on Epic Rap Battles a couple of times on YouTube.
Yeah.
No, I knew of them, but then like watching The Get Out, I've heard a lot of good things about The Get Out. Doesn't always mean it's going to be a good movie that you're going to enjoy it. But then when I sat down and watched it, I loved every minute of it. Genuinely from the bottom of my heart, I thought it was fantastic. We watched the thing last time out. While I didn't love it, there were certain things about it that I genuinely thought, okay,
that was cool.
That was cool. There's a core of a good movie. Was there criticisms that I could levy at it? Yes, and I levied those criticisms. I thought that there was way too much. I always think that when it comes to horror, you're better off kind of like holding back for as much as possible. This film didn't fucking hold back at all. Mm-hmm. Like, it was like, okay, we've got these weird these weird. They just introduced the weirdos one at a time, and then you saw them all at once. And I think the ending goes on and on and on and on. You know what? This film's an hour and 23. It feels like I sat through about 2.5 hours of this
me
fucking
too,
garbage. You know, it's not good. It's not good. I do not, for the life of me, understand where this film's cultural cachet comes from. Do you?
No, I don't. I don't like. But like, for example, like the problem with for example, like The Thing, was that the shock value as well. And for example, like in the Thing 2011, I didn't talk too much about it, but what they did basically, they put like a generic story. For example, in a Norwegian camp, I think they were all Norwegian. No, they put like a cast with the main cast being American, because otherwise you won't connect to somebody that's not from America.
Yeah.
So there's like an English guy, there's a German guy, there's a thing, there's two Norwegian too. Like they're like the camp.
Right.
Look, the Norwegian camp changed it to like
An international camp.
and there's that girl that's basically the archaeologist that's being sent to Norway because they find the alien ship.
Right.
And there's this guy who finds the spaceship. That's kind of the evil guy, you know, like, oh, I found that thing, and I want to use it to rule the world, or do you like to be rich or stuff like that. There's a classic. There was a bad guy in the movie, like already. What I did like about The Thing? Nobody is a bad guy.
No, they're all understandable.
They're all understandable,
They're
and
all pricks.
nobody wants to take the thing and making a weapon, or take the thing and do like use it for their personal gain or stuff like that. No, everybody wants to save each other and to save themselves. Like, yeah.
It's very because the way you described it was a very primal movie, and I agree with you. I think it appeals to very kind of primal core aspects of the human psyche. With this, like, I'm pretty sure like there are people out there who will defend it and say, "Oh yeah, it does the same." No, I don't think it does.
No, like it's like, for example, the Thing 2011. I'm just finishing with that.
Yeah, go.
There's more scene with the Thing, and they're killing more people, and it's more gory and stuff like that. And then they miss up the point because you don't care about any of the character and the relationship that they have.
Yeah. Okay.
And you don't see you see some character that frighten and they're dying one by one, which basically is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Instead of The Thing, you see characters trying to get themselves together, find a plan, and think, even though they don't trust each other anymore.
Right.
They're like, basically, there's like this relationship. I kind of need you, but I don't fucking trust you.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, it's like there's that thing going on as well. Like, you know, it's
Yeah.
it's a better character story than the fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Thing 2011.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, like, and you can turn around and say, "Oh yeah, but the film was made nearly 50 years ago." Yeah, that's a fair
There's
point.
Psycho before that.
Yeah, fuck's sake, man.
There was Psycho before that.
Psycho was made in black and white in the 1960s. It's a fucking far better horror film than this.
Yeah,
and it does.
It's a trailer. It's a trailer horror. Like,
Yeah, but it's more psycho. The thing is, though, like, what I mean, we said this before, I mean, and we used the example of Reservoir Dogs, where Mr. Pink? No, it wasn't Mr. Pink.
Mr. Blue, Mr. Brown, Mr.
I think it
Brown.
was Mr. Blue. No, Mr. Brown was Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, it was Mr. Blue. Mr. Blue hacks the cop's ear off. But what was more horrifying? The fact that the camera panned away while Stuck in the Middle with You by Steelers Wheels playing, and he's hacking the ear off. All you hear is the screams. That's what makes it more unsettling. Like, the fact that with this movie, they try to, like, it's just so OTT.
They don't show. They just show the sensor, and it's just like because they cannot cut the guy in half, so it's just like whack at the other side of the table thing, you know, like.
It's just like so unconvincing. It's just so badly done. And look, again, you can turn around and I know I always go on saying, like, you know, creativity is born of constraint, but there's no fucking creativity in this. There just isn't. It's just like some fucking big dude in a fucking mask waving a chainsaw around.
They have like a bunch of bones and stuff like that, so they make like
Ooh.
they make like oh yeah,
because their house has got like full of fucking human remains and
Yeah.
chicken feathers.
yeah, chicken feathers and human remains, like
Yeah.
a perfect livable house that you believe that somebody have lived in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's just so fucking stupid. Do you know what I mean? It's like there isn't even a pretense of normality, or, you know, there's no like outward, you know what would make some some of these characters interesting if they were outwardly very respectable, like pillars of the community, but then they turn out to be fucking psychopaths. Or they turn out to be these murderous bastards.
Like
if they had, rather than their entire house being full of fucking human remains, maybe like there's
the movie. Yeah, but like for example, like Rob Zombie did take the genre of Chainsaw Massacre. I need to watch that movie as well. Maybe I'm going to hate it as well. But it's more of basically you follow those characters and basically you try to like those characters. What's the name of the movie of Rob Zombie?
I don't know. I could look it up.
Yeah, you could look it up. Like
Right,
Rob Zombie and
out.
IMDb. You find it on IMDb. Like
No, I just want to keep. I want to keep this page of IMDb on Texas Chainsaw Massacre in case there's information that I need to look up regarding, further in the conversation. One second. IMDb. Boom. And you want to look up Rob Zombie, yeah?
Rob Zombie, yeah.
Rob.
And Zombie. Here you go. That's the one there.
Dracula, Living Dead Girl. Well, everybody's fucking in a UFO.
No, it's not this one.
Zombie Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, I think it's this one.
All right, let's have a look at it. Rob Zombie.
No, it's not this one. But like, we'll never see it maybe. But like, I don't like those movies anyway.
Okay.
But like, yeah, it's one of the movies. Like you follow like a family of they're like I think it's Devil Reject or maybe something like that, and you follow like a family of serial killer cannibal thing. But you start to like them because you follow them as like how they go through and they see difficulties, stuff like that. I think the movie is one of the people get out and basically they are being chased by the police. But you saw them like do like that chase of them being chased by everybody else, like
Okay, but yeah, I mean, I something that was quite interesting though. Right, the way the film opened, right, and you had that kind of police report, that radio police report.
That's sort of to make it like real. That's what I was thinking, to make it realistic.
To ground it a little bit.
Yeah,
and then you had then you had like the panning shot of the weird human sculpture from the corpses that the police report goes on about. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm struggling. Like, I really can't fucking find anything to recommend about this film.
I think that scene was added later. I think
you might be right. I don't know.
Just to justify like why they're coming here,
Yeah, I mean, like in terms of the photography. I mean, do you think is there anything to recommend about the photography? Do you think
there's Dutch angles and very close up on the
lots of crash zooming
and close up on the people's faces?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm really struggling with this one, man, because I just don't like it. I really fucking don't. I don't understand this. Like I said, I don't understand its cultural cachet. I don't understand. I can kind of see the influence, but other films have then come along since and done it much better. I didn't like any of the characters that were the victims. I didn't want any of them to succeed. And the fact that 3 of them got fucking taken out of commission so fucking quickly. I mean, you could turn around and say it was probably down to budget, that was down to time, the length of the movie, whatever else.
No, I think they killed the character quickly because they have nothing to say.
Yeah.
They have nothing. Literally, they have nothing to say.
Yeah.
The character himself have nothing. He doesn't have any idea of what they're going to say or stuff like that. I don't know what to do with that character. I'll just kill it now or stuff like that. It just sounds like this.
Yeah. I mean, instead of maybe what it could have done is done something along the lines where like one of the characters goes missing. They all decide, all right, fuck it, we better go look for him. And then they all find themselves in this fucking, and they get picked off one by one by this villainous stalker that that separates, uses guile and evil intent to separate them off and then kind of carve them up by one. But no, it's just like each of them.
They come in, boom.
Do you know what I mean? 3 of them are fucking taken out by their own stupidity, and then, oh god, man, it's just
4. All 5 of them are taken out by their stupidity.
Yeah, they're all dumb fucks. A lot of them, and it's just like. Yeah, I mean, I not once, even at the end where the girl gets away, I didn't feel any sense of euphoria. Like, oh yeah, I'm happy she's got away, fair play. I'm just like, oh, well, thank fuck this is over.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who view that movie in cinema say like, yeah, thank fuck it's over. I don't think that movie was taking good in cinema, but because it was bad to view it, because it was illegal in some country to see it.
Yeah, it was banned in the UK.
It's why it became a cult favorite.
Yeah, because what?
Because of the it become like people wanted to watch it because it was difficult to obtain. Like,
Yeah, it became contraband.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you've done your marketing for. You've done the marketing.
But I tell you, if the movie wasn't bad, everybody would have forget about it.
Do you know what? You're right.
If it wasn't bad, that's like the thing that people wanted to censor that movie is the reason why it got so popular.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's not. And when you think about it, it's not really that fucking bloody. It's just like mostly just a dude running around with waving the chainsaw about,
And
and it's just the sound of the chainsaw as well.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably part of it. It's just the sound of the chainsaw, and when you hear some, you know, someone chasing you, and you all you hear is, then it sounds, you know, sounds. I'm sure it would probably sound terrifying if you were in that kind of situation, but again, the core around films such as this is you need to identify with the characters. You need to be able. There has to be some level of characterization where you identify with the characters, or you like them, or even if you dislike them, if you have some emotional reaction to
It's a problem with the slasher in general, or horror movie in general. You don't care about the character because you know they're going to die.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if you know they're going to die, you want to care that they, you know, you want to care what happens to them. You know, and that's what makes it. That's what makes movies like that more potent. You know, if you don't make likable characters, then why should we care if they live or die? Because at the end of the day, like, you know, they're not members of our family, not real people. At the end of the day, you know, they're fictional characters, and if they're fictional characters, you got to fucking give us reason to care.
Yeah.
Whatever that reason is, find a reason for us to care as an audience. And, you know, at no point did I give a flying fuck about any of them. I just thought, Jesus Christ, you're an idiot. Jesus Christ, you're a fucking... Oh, Jesus Christ, you're a fucking idiot. You know, it was just like stupidity after stupidity. And then again, you got the whole fucking, like, the weird family as well. Like, it's like, as you said earlier on, it's like, yeah, this is really a believable house to live in, isn't it? All these fucking skulls. How does no one get fucking, like... You know, some kind of like disease from all the fucking bones and shit on the floor.
I saw some people who lived in houses like this, you know, like
That's right.
crazy people who live like in a house that's falling down. Basically, you see that a lot in America, for example. Like,
Well, yeah, you see, look, don't get me wrong,
like
crazy.
you know, like a crack house or stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, but that's more down. I mean, that's more down to fucking like if someone's unable to do it because they're a crackhead or whatever else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or, you know, if people live in squalor, it's usually because they're mentally deficient.
But this family was mentally deficient, to be fair.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, but there was 3 able-bodied, if slightly deranged, well, not slightly deranged, if very deranged men living in that house. Yet they choose to live in that kind of squalor. I mean, like, there's chicken. No, if there's chicken feathers all over the place, there's chicken shit all over the place. I don't know, man. I just think this film sucks.
Yeah, for example, like a better horror movie, I think that is the Parasite from the Korean director.
Oh yeah. That's not really a horror movie.
It is a horror movie. Like the second half, no. But the first half, no. But the second half is in a horror movie.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah, Parasite's a much better film. But we care about the family, though.
Because you see the family for a very long time, and they're being developed.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. That's what makes that film so effective. Because, like, you see their struggles as a poor family in Korea, that they're looking up and being aspirational.
They're all extremely talented at being con artists. They're so good at being con artists. They're basically better than the real people. Like, for example, the driver, you know, like the dad was driving. You know,
yeah.
Like, he was driving so perfectly. He was driving so perfectly. It was like the guy was testing the glass of water, and like he was doing perfectly. The daughter, when she faked the diploma and stuff like that, they may as well be real. It was so good. They may as well be real.
Yeah, so real marketable skills.
Yeah, there's just basically everybody was like the mother. She prepared a meal with like a very cheap ramen and very expensive beef, and she makes something beautiful out of it. She's a very good cook. Like, it's a thing, like, because they're like poor, they cannot never being recognized with all their quality, but they have the quality in the first place.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But they choose to be con artists. But like sometimes I tell you, the con artists are sometimes the more talented people.
Yeah, I just wish they put their talents to more productive use rather than trying to fucking con
But
money
no,
out of
it's
people.
just like they con money out of people, but
Yeah.
they're smarter.
But the thing is, like, yeah, but you can't say that about any of the characters in this. I mean, like, yeah, again, we can name like different movies that have done aspects of this film that this film was done much better. And I think maybe that's probably the one good thing you can probably attribute to this film is that although it may have been the inception point for this kind of movie, other people have taken that idea and have run with it and have made better quality art off the back of it. Because this film is very schlocky, and it's
Like
lazy.
I give you so many movies that's like the same, like the first Paranormal Activity, the Blair Witch Project, this movie like this, which just like it's just like shock value for shock value, like
Yeah, I mean that's the thing though. I mean, like, the problem is if your entire premise is to shock and revolt the audience and revolt, and to be repulsive and revolting, like what'll end up happening is that your film should by rights fade into the ether, because you're not doing anything with the premise. All you're trying to do is elicit a gut a singular gut reaction. You're there to shock. You're there to repulse. But once that's been achieved, like I don't think it does it very well. And you could turn around and some people, in terms of its defence, would say, "Oh yeah, but it was made in 1974. It was made 50 years ago." No, fuck off. Like, there's been good movies made during that period of time.
before that.
And before that as well. Like, you just said fucking Psycho. Psycho was made in the 60s in black and white. It showed nearly next to nothing. And then people will turn around and say, oh, that's due to censorship. No, it's not down to censorship. It's down to the fact that if you let the imagination run away with itself, then it will fill in the gaps. Mm-hmm. But if you just show everything, like, it's the difference between, like, when you first get with a girl, you see her like in like a short dress, or you see her in underwear or whatever else, and you think to yourself,
"Be careful where you're going with that."
I'm not trying to be misogynistic. I'm just saying, like, when you
I was not not going to the misogynist part, but it's not a friendly show. Like, to be fair,
yeah,
it's not a
exactly.
friendly show.
Yeah, but when the imagination is allowed to run away with itself. Mm-hmm. This is the point I'm making. And then, look, if a girl just comes up to you and just like shows everything straight away, then there's no mystery there.
There's more. It's. I think you say it's more sexy when you see a very long dress with a cut for the leg.
Yeah.
Than you see completely naked, like.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's like you take away the mystery of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like once it's been exposed, it's been exposed. This film, it's just like, oh yeah, we're going to shock.
Expose everything.
Yeah, it exposes everything, and then there's no mystery. There's nothing to inquire your mind. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing to kind of latch onto on a psychological level, or an intellectual level. It's just fucking violence for the sake of violence. It's gore for the sake of gore. It's shock for the sake of shock. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then when you finish, I mean, were it not for the fact that we were sitting down doing this podcast afterwards, I would forget about this film in an instant.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very good.
No.
And I think, I kind of, like, because I remember, like, before we started setting up to shoot, you were like, oh, should we bother doing a podcast about it?
Yeah, I didn't want to do I didn't want to turn on the camera and turn on the thing just to talk about it. I really didn't want to.
Yeah, and I can understand why, but it's, the way I look at it is we have a commitment to make podcasts.
I'm sorry to have chosen that movie.
Well, look, it's all very well to say that in 2020 hindsight, but the fact is we did choose it.
Yeah.
And we are doing a podcast about it.
Yeah.
But just because we didn't like it doesn't mean we haven't got nothing to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, whether or not it's going to be, well, it's definitely not going to be the longest podcast we've done.
No, still, it's not going to be the shortest either.
Well, it might not be, but look, I'm not going to sit here for 2.5 hours. That's for fucking sure. Because I mean, like, trying to find something positive to say about it. I'm really struggling.
It was an hour and 40 minutes. That's the only good thing about it. It could have been 2 hours.
Minutes.
It could have been 2 hours.
So it wasted less of my time and less of my day. I mean, that's not exactly what you call a recommendation, is it?
No.
I don't know. I think this film is fucking dog shit.
I don't know, like, what the fuck is, like, was it like Surprised by Oxford? Like, some critic basically
Well, the thing's like, look the tomato meter, mate. It's fucking. I mean, 89%, 82%. How in the fuck has it got scores like that? Please, someone tell me. I don't understand. Like, if I was to
I
rate this
think it's
movie,
the same problem of like so like there's so little like in this movie that people make it up something. It's like the same thing as modern art.
yeah,
It's the same
maybe.
thing as the same as modern art,
You know, when you look at a Rothko,
Because you don't understand the movie. The movie is a critique about the social economic of America.
Yeah.
No, the movie is like five people get out of a truck and get killed one by one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you say with modern art. I might do a little bit of a rant on that. Like with fucking modern art.
And because it was hard to get and create like a kind of like a value.
Yeah,
And people-
scarcity.
scarcity, and lack of meaning just become like it's the best movie of all time because you don't understand it.
Well,
You
look,
can't understand it for
look,
that.
I fucking hate that because that's gatekeeping, right?
Yeah.
And like, I don't like it in art either. I don't like it in the art world. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Jackson Pollock. I'm not the biggest fan of Mark Rothko. I don't like their fucking work. Is it art? Yes. Is Texas Chainsaw Massacre art? Yes. I'm not going to turn around and say it's not. But do I think like Jackson Pollock's action paintings or Mark Rothko's massive fucking 2-color? I mean, they're basically, it's the sort of stuff that you put up in a fucking solicitor's office or in a lawyer's office. Do you know what I mean? To create a mood, an aesthetic, you know, something you use to like, you know, tie your furniture, tie the room together, that kind of crack. Do you know what I mean? There's no reason to look at. I mean, anyone who stands there and looks in wonder. I mean, look, I'm sure that they're trying to kid, I'm sure they're trying to kid themselves that there's something more there, but there fucking isn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's a hipster movie because it's hard to like it, and because it's hard to like it, some people would like it just to be different.
Well, if that's look, if that's the case, that's the case.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm not going to turn around and like, I'm not going to piss in anyone's popcorn. If they like it, they like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, more power to you.
Yeah.
Whatever fucking reasons there are, is whatever reasons. It's like if you like Jackson Pollock's paintings, if you like Mark Rothko's paintings, then more power to you. If you if there's someone out there who appreciates that kind of work, then fine, fair enough. Who am I to turn around and tell them what like and what not to like? I'm not here to do that, and I'm not going to. But I am going to express my opinion.
Yeah.
Do I like Mark Rothko's work? No, I fucking don't. Do I like Jackson Pollock's work? No, I fucking don't. Do I like Damon Hirst's work? No, I fucking don't. There's a lot of artist work I don't fucking like, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who might look at my work and not like it. That's fine too. That's just the way. That's just the discourse, so to speak.
Yeah.
But in terms, I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like, if someone was to come up to me and explain to me why they enjoy the movie.
Like what this movie is one of the best movie of all time. Like, yeah. Come on, say in the comments, explain us why it's the best movie of all time.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's a good point. Look, if anyone out in the comments honestly thinks that we're talking out of our arse and that we, there's certain things that we've obviously missed and how stupid can you be not to see this, then fine, let us know. Yeah. By all means. Look, if it's what you enjoy watching, then more power to your elbow, mate. I've got no objection to you liking this movie, but I'm not going to turn around in all good faith, because, like I said, when it comes to criticism of any kind, it has to come from a position of good faith. You have to, I would rather be honest about my viewpoints on something than try and sugarcoat it. Especially when it comes down to, because at the end of the day, right, when we're not doing reviews of movies as they come out, right? We're trying to do a theme or something that might be interesting, or something we feel that might be interesting to talk about, whatever else. But also it helps. What also I feel this does, especially for me and you, maybe it helps kind of like examine why we think about art in general. What is it we like about art? What is it that we appreciate? What is it that we don't like about art? What don't we appreciate so much? I think these are all valid, right? Mm-hmm. Because having these kind of conversations, right, reinforces, not only just reinforces, but it kind of like, it makes you think about what it is that you're watching, what it is that you're ingesting, what it is, about the art that, you as an individual appreciate about it or don't. But also when it comes to communicating those ideas, it helps kind of refine and sharpen those ideas exactly what it is that you expect from media, exactly what it is that, you know, you feel would be better or worse about a particular film, how it could be improved. Like, and I think this film has been improved upon over the years, you know, by better artists. Now, again, what's good art, what's bad art?
What was that?
I just dropped something. What's good art, what's bad art? I'll worry about it in a minute. What's good art, what's bad art is down to the individual. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's important that I'm going to be honest, and like I'm struggling to find anything about this film that I appreciate or enjoy. There is nothing. I don't think. I mean, there's some interesting camera work, maybe.
Zoom lenses, crash like a very close up of an eyeball, like to see the horror thing, or you know.
Yeah.
But like Dutch angle, you know, just like
Atmosphere.
the atmosphere. But like, okay, why not? Okay.
I don't know.
But like, if there's not, if you have like those pretty images or pretty colors or stuff like that, doesn't make nothing interesting, you know. Anyway, I think we should wrap this up.
Do you know? Yeah, I think we should too. I think it's, but you know, I don't think there's. I don't want to waste my time talking about this movie anymore. I don't want to waste the audience's time hearing us fucking just ramble about how much we fucking hate this film.
Yeah.
So, okay, what we're gonna do now? Okay, let's get out of this nonsense here for a second.
It's Alien.
The next movie we're watching is Alien, is it? Yeah.
And the last one would be
Nosferatu.
Okay.
Okay, so we can tick off Chainsaw Massacre. And I will never watch that
There's so
movie
many
again.
better movies than Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm so disappointed to have choose that.
Well, look, we chose it. Look, we chose it. We made our bed. We lied in it. We still managed to get a podcast out of this. It's not going to be our longest one. We're wrapping this up now because I think we've said everything we want to say about it.
Yeah.
You know, none of it's been positive.
No.
You know, it's been quite a negative one. This, and not. You know what? It's not that I enjoy being negative about art
No,
either.
that's why I didn't want to start the video in the first place, because I didn't want to start a video to be negative.
Yeah, I think it sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks. Yeah, I feel kind of, you know, but you know, we made the choice. And this is what we're doing. So we've got to kind of stick with the format.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't want to waste any more people's time talking about it. But okay, so the next film we're going to watch is going to be Alien, followed by Nosferatu afterwards.
Okay.
Right, and that'll take us to the end of October. So, yeah, just so you know, next week's movie is going to be Alien. So if you haven't seen it, better get to watching it because it will be spoiled. We don't want to be hearing no complaints about us spoiling the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You got a week's head start. Try and get if it's on. I think it's on Disney Plus, isn't it?
It's on. No, I don't think it's on Disney Plus, but like you can find it. Any like.
Well, look,
You'll find it.
I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find Alien in the meantime. So if you want to have a watch of it before you start watching the podcast next week, I'd advise you do that.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So anyway, my name's been John Clare. He has been
Roman Puesh.
This has been the Post-Watch Post-Mortem, and we thank you for taking the time for. We thank you for your time today. We appreciate you watching the film, watching the podcast, and hearing our thoughts, however negative they may have been. And we'll see you next time.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye bye. And just for the intro, I'm gonna do an intro like this. You know, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, you know, it's bad. Bye. To like and have the credit rolling. And then we start the video.